hold the camera like this so that you're not covering up those things.
I could just hold it by the string.
Still have that blinking power takeoff light. Alright, here you go.
At the creeper gear, it drives again. Honk the horn.
Why the fuck do I want to honk the horn? I don't know where the horn button.
That's a loud one.
It is a loud one. That's broken. Okay, so here we are. It moves. The differential lock works, but the brakes are needing to be bled. And I know that they need to be bled because the sons of bitches ain't working at all. And the brake bleeder is right there on this one. Right there and right there. So other than that, I think we're golden. Right, Tim? Yeah, everything works. Except for that power takeoff shift. I'm going to find that one out as soon as possible. That's next on the list of things to do. So there it is, guys. It moves under its own power. The power shift seems to work. And now my good friend Mr. Dean Torres O'Leary can have his tractor back and be proud and happy to own it again. And to all the naysayers that I wasn't going to get it done, poo-pooey on Yui, because me and Tim and the other two knuckleheads over here worked hard and got it done. Well, 90% done. But there she is. All right, Mr. Tim, what do we got going on here? Is it going to come off or what?
Yeah, it came off.
Okay. What we're doing is we're replacing. Now, when that thing gets loose, it's going to want to drop on your head. We're replacing a $50 filter for this transmission because it's acting a little bit messed up. So, I have a new one. Right, Tim? All right, get that spun off of there and flip it upside down in that thing. And
get me a rag.
You got one right here.
No, I don't. Full grease.
Don't worry about it. Get him a rag. All right, run this one up real quick with your clean hand, if you can. Doesn't matter, but you're not going to be able to. Here, you want me to do it? Oh, you're going to do it. Okay. Just wait. He's got oil all over him. So we're replacing this transmission. Oh shit! I'm touching that damn thing. We're replacing the transmission filter because I've got a weird light shining. What are you looking for? This? And I'm not sure. I don't have an operator's manual, and it's a little different than any other. This has two transmission lights, but I think one is for the rear, and one is for the hydraulic oil, which I don't think I have that one. That's That's a $100 filter. This one's only $60. So we're replacing that so that it'll operate okay. It is a, what is that, a 7221. You can check that out later. There's the actual number, the 557221. But anyway, so that's in there. So Mr. Tim, we're going to rock his world by starting this tractor up while he's under there. Hopefully we don't have it in gear, right? Oh, it could be. Can you believe that? I could have killed Tim with that. I don't like the fact that that's not connected right now. This one here has been coming on, so I'm hoping that that filter takes that problem away. Lo and behold, it did. Excellent. You see, the other one is this one, and that's a pressure one, so I'm sure that's the rear filter and that's the front filter, but we've got that taken care of. All right. One problem at a time, we will get to where we are going. Alrighty.
My dad had given me his camera. What? What'd you do?
Hey, it does work, by the way.
Oh, it does?
Just so everybody knows that it won't start unless it's actually...
Hold on, you're all blurry. Did you have it on D and it started lugging down?
This pretty much concludes the repair on the 6200. As on a scale of 1 to 10 for being a pain in the ass, I'd have to say that this was only I'd say about 5. The ass end, to remove the ass end from this tractor was really not a fun deal, but I did it. It's done. All the pins and everything are where they belong. Everything seemed to work out according to how I think it should have went, right down to power takeoff shaft. I mean, everything's good. It takes an astronomically large amount of oil in this transmission. I'm going to say that Tim put about 10 gallons into it, and I think I put about 15. Plus a gallon of Lucas oil, which cost me $60, but what are you going to do? The job was the job. Now, the injection pump, the only thing I had to replace on the injection pump was actually just this solenoid here, which is no big deal because, I had it. But that injector pump is right where it needs to be. Fuel filter is new. I put that on. The oil filter, engine oil filter, I didn't change. The reason I didn't change engine oil filters is because I didn't change the engine oil. The engine oil looked just fine. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you. It might be a little bit on the... Look at it. Looks like new. Yeah, looks like new. So, if it looks like new, there's no sense in me changing it out. I guess I could just spin a new one on there just for shits and giggles, but other than that, I think it's fine. Yeah, so here it is. I'm actually going to keep this tractor for a little while and use it, probably a month or so, just to make sure that everything is right where it needs to be. I am going to need to get... You know what? Look what is that there? Is that thing there? The battery hold down is actually there. Can you believe that? So anyways, the battery hold down is there. I'm going to have to get new straps. So that's another little thing that I'll have to purchase to get it to where I feel that the tractor's 100%. Yeah, new starter. As you can see, she's nice and shiny. And yes, that is a Bosch starter. And I lubricated everything there so that it would be easier to take off in the event that it needs a new one. I put all the shields, recommended shields, where they belong, because you know what? Just for the slim chance that some jackass comes along here and jumps the wires to start it, I don't want to be responsible. And that's a good thing to do. So, yeah, I guess, like I said earlier, that's going to conclude it. I'm actually going to check the oil in the hubs there, in those hubs, just to make sure that everything's okay in that respect. Plus I'm going to grease it because I will be using the tractor a little bit, and yeah, so that's it. Most of you know that the 6200 is working properly, but I'm still standing here in front of it. Why? Because it is not working properly. As a matter of fact, the most essential part of this tractor is not working, and that is the power takeoff shaft. So I've been cursing and swearing at this thing, and I've been doing tests, and you know, I got my light here. I got a test light here someplace. Maybe I threw it on the ground. I've tested this part here. I've come over and I've tested this part here. There's a little solenoid in there, which is normally a problem. And lo and behold, I still can't get this thing figured out. As a matter of fact, there's no electricity at all going to the power takeoff shaft. And I get this ridiculous, this light here. That light there will blink, 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 blink. Well, it's not blinking anymore because you know what? I figured out what the problem is and I have fixed it. Yes, I have fixed it. The problem is corrosion. Because this tractor sat outside for its entire life and the last 3 years of not running, there's no heat or anything getting to it to dry stuff out. So anyway, here it is, and I gotta say, what a pain in the balls. You see this panel that's up here on the hood? There's no instructions or anything on the tractor about this particular thing. You actually have to go to the internet and look at John Deere, but right here, I'm gonna show it to you. Read it and weep, buddy. That is a Pto module. That there is your four-way flasher module right here, your lights. So pretty much what it is just a hella blinker. But that little bastard, it's got some corrosion into it. As you can see, there's a bunch of shit in the bottom here, and over the past few years or whatever, last decade or so, people have dropped blown fuses. Maybe this fuse isn't even blown, I don't know. But there's old fuses that are down in here because, you know, when you start messing with fuses, what happens? You get slippery fingers, and that one is blown, and this one here is not blown. This is actually a good fuse. So the yellow one's blown, but the other one's not. But anyway, with all that being said, all I've had to do now is I tapped it with the screwdriver, and that worked. It fixed it. So what it is it's dirty. All this is a plug. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug it like so. I'm going to try to unplug it like so. It may not be that easy, but I'm going to get it, whether it likes it or not, unless there's a screw in the bottom of it. I'm not entirely sure as to how this thing works. But anyways, let me get it apart and I'll bring you back in a second. Okay, I've gotten it off and I actually put it back on again, and now I'm going to go ahead and take it back off again if I can. What I've done is pretty simple. What it is the connections were as dry as a tin fart. And what I did was I actually took this silicone paste and I put it on those relays, or on these plugs, on those prongs, this plug, and I've ran the thing up and down on there a couple of times. You know, and what that does is actually makes a good contact to my rather annoying little Pto module, which I'm sure is no big deal to replace it, and I'm not sure if the owner of this tractor has had PTO troubles in the past, but if he did, he will no longer have PTO problems because I've just repaired them. Inside this thing, there's all sorts of, you see these wiring harnesses are meant for every tractor, you know, every option on these tractors, so there's a lot of wires and stuff in here. But you know what, that's okay because we're just going to leave everything be just the way it's supposed to. Let's see, I think that's the, yep, so anything that I can see here is all good, and now it's back together again. So what I'm going to do is demonstrate the startup of the tractor. Oh Jesus, it hooked me again. I'm stuck. My chain on my wallet has hooked the foot pedal lock. Okay, so I'm going to turn the key, and that PTO light came on like it normally does, and then it went off like it's supposed to because the module came on. And there it is. It came on, shut off. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to turn the PTO on, and I'm going to shut it off. Turn it on, shut it off. Alright. So now that it's on, let's make sure it's working. I have changed it from 1000 to 540 because I'm actually going to be spinning grass seed on with this tractor this coming week. So I need it at 540, and it is now spinning at 540. This morning on the live show, I had a young man tell me that his tractor would just spin in third gear for some reason. Well, it shouldn't. When I hit this button here, to get you where you belong, there's actually a brake inside there. So when you disengage that, it's up in here. There's a clutch and a brake. See it? There's your brake, there's your clutch, and this is the PTO. So when you disengage that, it reverts the pressure from the clutch to the brake, and it disengages and stops that from spinning. I mean, you can't even turn that thing. It's tight. So I'm going to call this fix a success. I will get back to you in a couple of seconds when I put the seat and everything else back together. I will show you when I'm done that it works and functions properly.